Donald Trump is being sued again for sexual battery. And an analyst has said Trump will eventually call for violence against America. So let me first start with the lawsuit. On Tuesday, the Daily Beast reported that columnist Jean Carroll is moving to sue former President Donald Trump again under a new sexual violence survivor law. We've been pushing for this law a very long time, accusing him of sexual battery. The lawsuit stems from an incident in the late 1990s, during which Carroll alleges that the future president raped her in a department store, and is an escalation of the litigation she is already advancing against him. I will explain. In an August letter to a New York federal judge that was just made public Tuesday, Carroll's lawyer notified the court that severe legal action was on the horizon. The issue was brought up in court related to Carroll's current lawsuit against the former president. She sued Trump while he was still at the White House, claiming she was defamed when Trump said the journalist's revelations in her memoir were lies, adding a piggish line about how she's not my type, he said. As the report noted, Carroll already has a defamation lawsuit against former President Trump for attacking her character with the claim she lied about the incident. However, this will be the first time Carroll actually sued the former president over the alleged rape itself. This comes as Trump, who has been accused of sexual harassment and assault by more than 24 women. Remember this, more than 24 women have accused this man of the same action, same activity, the same crime. Now he faces 2 separate criminal investigations as well, relating to the plot to overturn the 2020 election and classified documents stashed at Mar-a-Lago, as well as a potential legal action from the New York State relating to finances of his family business that is ongoing now. Now, here's the thing. I said this as soon as Trump became ex-President Trump. I said Trump will be a defendant for the rest of his life, no matter what. He will be a defendant of some sort, criminal defendant, civil defendant, and that is bearing out. This is the worst life lived of a former president of the United States. And the walls are closing in on this character. He's losing money, he's losing reputation, he's losing his grip on the Republican Party, evidenced by the fact the Republican Party will not allow him to announce he's running for president until after the midterms. Why? Because he is that toxic now, and he motivates Democrats in ways that Democrats cannot motivate each other. Just keeping it 100. So now a new analyst who's really an old guard figure, former Watergate figure John Dean, has warned there will be violence as Donald Trump finds himself in increasing legal peril. They are no longer saying it may be violence. They're no longer saying it is probably going to happen. You have analysts who have worked at the White House previous saying this atmosphere and this former president will in fact create violence in America. Now, I'm hoping that to be untrue. I don't want to see a violent America. I would like to see a peaceful democracy. But let's be very clear about what's happening in this country. You no longer have a fight of ideology. This is not about best processes versus better processes. This is about 2 very different countries. These individuals claim to be anti-government, but they are not. Remember, they are continuing to recruit individuals who work in government. They are continuing to place people to work for government. They want their members, the Proud Boys and others, to run for political office, to gain, to obtain power in the political and government realm. That's not anti-government. What they want is a different government. They want their form of government. They want a government where white supremacy is their God. They want to go back to the times of the 60s and 50s when a white male dominance, in the culture was all the power structure deemed. That's it. They want to go to that time. Make America Great Again was about make America white and white supremacist again. The ideology is there. There is no coincidence that the KKK universally endorses Trump and Trump endorsed candidates. It is not a coincidence that the white supremacist rallies are all pro-Trump operations. No coincidence that CPAC holds their conference at the same place, at the same resort as the white supremacists on the same weekend, because it's the same group. Makes it easier for them, right? No coincidence whatsoever. Sharon, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, let's start with the lawsuit. Okay, this should be the easiest case to prosecute. If it were me, Rashad, I'd call one witness who used to work at NBC, and the network has the only piece of evidence that I would enter into the case. Okay, they've got that recording, Trump's own words. This is a very serious thing, and I do wonder, I have my doubts if he'll ever be held accountable. But he has to. But I also, as much as I like John Dean and his place in history, I wonder if he just needs to put on Captain Obvious's hat and uniform here, because there are certain segments of the population that are presumed violent. And then there's this other guy who's accused of rape. We've seen the footage of the violence he's called for. He's lied, he's stolen, according to the New York Attorney General. And yet people are still getting rich writing books and articles saying, we better watch out. What more do we have to convince our fellow Americans out here? What more?
Yeah, well said. All right, we'll continue to follow this as it develops.